Jeff Who Lives at Home is a very interesting film to describe because it's a very funny film and it is a comedy, but it's also a dramatic comedy. And for those of you coming to see a movie with Jason Segel and Ed Helms, we encourage you to come because it will be funny, but we're also encourage you to be excited to see a different side of Jason and Ed and Judy and even Susan in particular. And the essence of this movie is a film about people who are trying to come together in the face of adversity, people who are trying to believe and not give in to sarcasm and cynicism, and that's something that we really love, and that's a theme that we strive for in our lives. We would like to be more like Jeff. We'd like to be the guy who believes that there's a great destiny out there. And it's a fun movie that takes place over the course of 24 hours, and it's a wild ride. And come to see a different kind of comedy.
Jason is kind of the perfect person to play Jeff because he's one of those people who is incredibly intelligent, but also has the ability to seem not super intelligent in the moment. And our lead character is one who is sort of like a neo philosopher. He does live at home. He does sometimes smoke pot, but he does philosophize about the nature of the universe. And Jason is he's kind of a brilliant, magical person himself. And Mark and I look up to these sorts of people. And Jason just kind of slotted in and became Jeff. I mean, it really took it to a whole new level for us.
Ed Helms plays Pat in the movie, and we'd been a big fan of Ed's for a while and watched what he had done on The Office and all of his movies. And he has this great ability to play these sarcastic, just incredibly douchey characters, but at the same time, he can maintain a likability because Ed is an inherently kind and sweet person. And we needed someone who could play, Pat in a way that would start off just despicable, really, but also that you would ultimately root for in the end. One of the other major elements of this film is Jeff and Pat's mother, Sharon, played by Susan Sarandon. She is at this place in her life where she's working in a pretty standard cubicle environment, and her husband's passed away, and she's trying to mother these two kids that she has a pretty contentious relationship with, and she's asking herself, is this it? Is this really all that's left for me in my life? And in particular, in regards to any romantic journey that she might be on, she's pretty much decided that that element of her life is dead until today, when someone, either in the office or nearby the office, contacts her, and the possibility of romance blossoms for her for the first time in years. Jeff is not just a stoner in our minds. Jeff, in many ways, for us, has a lot of integrity because he believes that the universe has something greater in store for him, and he will wait around until he gets it, to the sacrifice of having a normal life and even a job and a girlfriend. And I think you could criticize that and say, oh, Jeff's just a slacker. But to us, it's like, you know what? He believes that something great is coming, and he's going to wait for it.
Well, that's the movie unfolds in a way where both of the brothers, are trying to achieve something that's very difficult to achieve. They're up against a lot of obstacles, and I think what we love about it is that at any given point in time, one of the brothers' way is not going to work, and the other one's may work better. And so they have to reckon with the fact that maybe they don't know everything, maybe they don't have it all figured out, and maybe this jerk that they happen to be in the same family with actually has a good point every once in a while. And I think what brings them closer together is that they do want the same things in the end. They want to be closer with their family. They want their lives to be great. They want magic in their lives. They want amazing things to happen. They're sick of the banal. And so, as they struggle and they get, they're fighting for all these things that they want. They're sharing this experience, and I think that's what ultimately brings them together.
Through Jeff, we start to explore this concept of destiny versus random chance. And I think it's something that we've all thought about to a certain extent in our lives. You know, is there a greater plan out there for us, or are we all just, you know, random particles colliding in a series of chaotic events? For us, we don't claim to have the answer to that by any means. We don't have any particular beliefs. We wanted to explore it and hopefully a not too taking itself too seriously way, and do it in a you know, comedically dramatic way. But the most important element for us is that Jeff really believes in that destiny and Pat really doesn't. And to explore those two guys together, trying to figure out who's right and what their destiny is for them,